Hello students and welcome to Top Scholars. Students, we are talking about classification, under which we are back today with another very interesting topic, that is vertebrata, craniata and its classes, cyclostomata, pisces and amphibia. So let us begin. Students, let us first talk about vertebrata and craniata. Now here in vertebrates, the notochord is eventually replaced by a cartilaginous or bony vertebral column. Students, in some organisms, whereas when we are going to study about cyclostomes, the notochord is going to persist throughout their life. But whereas in many of these vertebrates, the notochord is eventually replaced by a cartilaginous or bony vertebral column. Moving on students, let us see the classification. Under vertebrata, we have two groups. One is agnatha or agnathostomata and the other is gnathostomata. Now do you see what is written below? Agnatha basically means without jaws. These are organisms which do not have a jaw surrounding their mouth, whereas gnathostomata are all animals which have jaws. Under agnatha, we are going to be studying one single class, that is cyclostomata. Now students, look at this word. Cyclo means circular, whereas stomata means mouth. Now under gnathostomata, we have two superclasses. Superclass pisces, which are basically fish, and the other is superclass tetrapoda. Now students, the word tetra means four and poda stands for limbs. So basically these are animals which are usually having four appendages or four limbs. Moving on students, let us first talk about agnatha and gnathostomata and let us do a comparative study. Students, as mentioned before, agnatha are jawless vertebrates. That is, these are animals without a jaw. Moving on, their mouth is circular with an adhesive disc. This adhesive disc is used to hold on to other host animals. Moving on students, the next one is the notochord in agnatha is present and it is present throughout the life of the organism. It does not change into a vertebral column. And finally students, they have a single median nostril. Whereas under gnathostomata students, the vertebrates are having jaws, after which the mouth is not circular, instead it is crescentic, meaning usually the mouth is half moon shaped, followed by the notochord which is replaced by a bony or a cartilaginous vertebral column. And as we have seen in agnatha, the nostril is only single and median, whereas in gnathostomata, the nostrils, that means there are two nostrils having two olfactory sacs and they are paired and in lateral position. Students, under agnatha, these organisms have 8 to 10 cranial nerves. Cranial nerves are the nerves which either start or end in the cranium, that is arising from the brain. Moving on students, the internal ear has either one or two semicircular canals. Remember students, semicircular canals are apparatuses which help to maintain balance. Moving on, the skin is either soft or slimy, and finally paired appendages are absent but median appendages are present. Under gnathostomata students, in agnatha there were 8 to 10 cranial nerves, but gnathostomata there are 10 to 12 cranial nerves. Moving on, whereas in agnatha we had seen only 1 to 2 semicircular canals, in gnathostomata there are 3 semicircular canals. The skin may be soft, slimy, or it may be dry and usually shows presence of an exoskeleton made up of scales, feathers or hair. And finally students, paired appendages are present. In agnatha they were absent, whereas in gnathostomata these paired appendages are present. Moving on students, now let us talk about the class under agnatha, that is cyclostomata. Do you remember the meaning of this word? Cyclo stands for circular, whereas stomata stands for mouth. Yes students, these are organisms without a jaw and they also have a mouth which is circular. Now do you see this amazing picture? Do you see that the mouth has been modified into a suctorial organ, or we can call it a suctorial funnel? Using this particular modification, these animals hold on to other fishes and suck their blood. Yes, students, they mainly feed on the blood of other organisms. The body, as you look at it, is very eel-like and cylindrical. These are ectoparasites on fishes, and as they suck blood, they are called as sanguivorous. Remember this very, very important word. All organisms which suck the blood of other animals are called as sanguivores. For example, mosquitoes, bed bugs are all examples of sanguivorous organisms.
To learn more about this topic, download Top Scholars app.